7:42 p.m., I think. I've got this old Casio watch that's been running a few minutes slow ever since the power went out for good, but it's the only thing left ticking around here. The temperature's dropped again. Feels like low 40s, maybe colder, and the wind's cutting through the cracks in this building like it's got a grudge. Not a sound outside except for that wind. No traffic, no planes, not even birds anymore. You're listening to what's left of 97.3 FM, or whatever frequency this old analog dial finally locked onto. If you can hear me, if anybody can hear me. This is Paul Martin, broadcasting from the 3rd floor of the old community center on Spruce and 14th, just outside Springfield. Diesel generator's running low, but it's still kicking. A big thanks to Trent. He was a mechanic down the road before everything went to hell. He got this thing going with parts from a school bus and half a lawnmower. Still smells like burnt oil in here, but I'm not complaining. Pretend you've just connected to this frequency. What do you tell the world in 15 seconds? I don't know how much longer we'll be able to do this, but for now, I'm here. I'll keep talking until the lights die or my lungs give out. Whichever comes first. It's been 11 days since the sky lit up. 11 days since the flash, bright white, like someone tore a hole in the sky and shoved a sun through it. No sound at first. Just light. I was making coffee. Didn't even get to pour the cream before the glass in my windows popped like it had been shot. After that, everything shifted. It's hard to explain to someone who didn't see it. There's footage online. Was footage. The net's mostly dead now. Only a few places left that ping back. But the clips? I saved a couple to my hard drive. One showed Tokyo, bright burst, then black. Like someone punched the city out. Another from Istanbul. People staring up. Phones in hand before the wave hit. Just silence after that. And then, the chaos. First, the power. Grid failure across the Midwest. No signals. No traffic control. Phones died in your hands. Not because they were out of juice. Because something fried them from the inside. Cars, too. It wasn't just EMP. That's what they said at first. But now it's clear this wasn't just one nuke. This was something different. That first night, I saw fire on the horizon. Downtown Springfield looked like it was bleeding from the rooftops. No sirens, no announcements, just burning. The hospitals filled up within hours, and then the coughing started. I lost Lisa on day 4. She was my neighbor, taught 3rd grade at Lincoln Elementary. We'd shared a fence line for 6 years. When the power first went, I brought over some candles and cans of chili. We laughed about it, like it was a snowstorm, not the end of the world. On day 3, she woke up with a nosebleed and a tremor in her left hand. Day 4, she was gone. Just collapsed right in her hallway. Blood in her eyes. No one came to pick her up. I wrapped her in a bedsheet and carried her to the backyard. Said something that sounded like a prayer, though I'm not sure who I was talking to. A man named Reggie stopped by yesterday. Said he used to work for the Department of Energy. He looked like hell. Burn marks on his hands, hair falling out in chunks. He told me we weren't hit by bombs. Not exactly. Said it was radiation bloom, a series of underground releases near fault lines. Said it wasn't a single country either. Said something about rogue factions, coordinated timing, electromagnetic backlash, and skyborne particulates. I didn't follow all of it, but I believed the part where he said, "It's not going to get better." The plants are dead. I checked my garden, brown all the way through. Even the weeds are crisped. No bugs, no birds. The dogs barked non-stop for days after the flash, then one by one, they stopped. Either ran or curled up somewhere and didn't wake back up. Haven't seen a squirrel in over a week. But I keep talking. Because I have to. If you're out there, if you're still tuning in, I want to hear from you. What are you seeing? What's happening in your town? I've got the radio open to receive on 27.415 megahertz. If your CB or ham still works, you can try reaching me. I'm listening every hour on the hour for 15 minutes. Maybe we can start something. Something small. A map. A list of who's left. This is Paul Martin from Springfield. Still here. I'm going to try and read out the last few messages that came through before the tower died. Maybe someone will recognize a name. Portland burning. East side mostly gone. Military convoy on I-84, but they're not stopping, not helping. That was sent from someone named Ashley. No last name. She sounded young, scared. Haven't heard from her since. Another. Mobile, Alabama. We saw the flash at 3:11 p.m. Sky changed color, like rust. No word from Atlanta. FEMA tent camps are full, and people are breaking through fences. No signature on that one. And one more. They knew. Satellite intercepts were scrubbed 2 weeks before. Everyone in command had time to leave. Don't trust any planes still flying. They're not ours. Yeah. I haven't seen a single plane in 5 days. I'm going to take a short break. Let the generator cool down. I'll be back on at 8:30 p.m. If you're hearing this, stay inside. Stay quiet. And if someone knocks, don't open the door unless you know their name. Trust is running out. This is Paul Martin, and I'm still breathing. All right, Paul Martin here again. It's 8:33 p.m. now. Still cold. Wind's gotten meaner. Kicked up a few bricks off the roof earlier. Heard one crash down into the alley. Felt like a gunshot. I patched the broken window with duct tape and a tarp, but the cold still creeps in through the seams. My breath is fogging up the mic. If you hear a rattling sound, it's the old space heater trying to stay alive. The generator's down to about a third tank. I've been rationing it. 2 hours on, 4 hours off. Still have some diesel left in the drums out back, but I don't know how long that's gonna last. No one's making fuel anymore. The gas stations are empty. The pumps are dead. Even if they weren't, who's processing crude now? The refineries all shut down after the wave. Reggie, the Department of Energy guy, he said the radiation wasn't coming from one place. He called it layered dispersion. Said it's like someone punched the earth in several pressure points at once and let the poison out. I don't know if that makes sense. But I've seen it. The way people cough. The way water turns cloudy, even in sealed bottles. How batteries refuse to hold a charge. It's not just nuclear fallout. It's something deeper. You can taste it in the air, like copper and dust and something else. Something bitter. Earlier today, I tried walking out toward the freeway. Took the old bike I found in the maintenance closet. I wanted to see if the rumors about the trucks were true. People have been saying there are black trucks moving silently through the countryside, taking survivors, or bodies. No one agrees. But I didn't see any trucks, just burnt-out cars. A family of 4 still strapped into their seats. No blood, just still. Like mannequins. The father was holding a phone in his lap, screen shattered. I wanted to bury them, but the ground's too hard, and the wind kept pushing me back. Saw a sign on the overpass. Someone painted it in red. We saw the flash. Now we wait to die. I stood there for a long time, just staring at that. and then I biked home. I passed a kid on the way back, maybe 12, maybe younger. He was standing in the middle of the road with a can of peaches in his hands, just holding it, staring at it like it was gold. I slowed down, asked his name. He didn't say anything, just turned and ran. If your name is Tyler, or if you're missing a boy around that age near Oak Ridge, you might still have a chance. There's a woman I've been hearing from on the shortwave. Calls herself Ruth. She's in Decatur. Says they've got about 15 people holed up in an old church using solar panels to charge radios. Her last message was full of static, but I caught part of it. Tell them to boil the water, at least 10 minutes. Even bottled stuff. We lost Ellie that way. Thought sealed meant safe. Boil your water. If you still have iodine tablets, use them, but boil it first anyway. This thing, it gets in deep. It's not just about radiation counts. The rain's carrying something that cracks open plastics. I saw a jerry can split at the seam like it was 10 years old. I don't know who dropped it. I don't know who fired first. Or if this was just some runaway experiment. Some old Cold War file someone dusted off and hit go. I keep going back to what Reggie said. It wasn't meant to be survivable. What kind of war isn't meant to be survived? They didn't hit the military bases first. They hit the comms lines, fiber, satellites, ham relays, anything that could have given us a full picture. And then the lights went out, and the silence came. Do you know what silence sounds like in a world that's always buzzing? It sounds like judgment. It sounds like being left behind. Sorry. I didn't mean to go dark on you there. We're still here. I'm still here. And as long as this signal holds, I'll keep calling out. Here's something you should know. The emergency channels are gone. No Way's loop is stuck on static. FEMA's broadcast went offline 3 days ago. And the AM emergency signal on 1610? It's just a loop now. Shelter in place. Wait for federal assistance. That's it. Repeats every 23 seconds. Like a ghost forgot how to shut up. I've gotten 6 new messages tonight. One from someone named Colleen in Missoula. She said the skies are still cloudy, but the mountains are glowing at night. She doesn't know why. Says it looks like heat lightning, but the air smells like bleach. She lost her husband 2 days ago. He'd gone to find batteries. Never came back. Another from Chaz in Baton Rouge. He says the local prison's gates are wide open, that most of the town's already emptied out, but now there's a group of men roaming around, setting fires, looking for supplies. Said he's barricaded in the back of a pharmacy with 3 others. Told me to tell people not to head south. This is the reality now. Not cities, not countries. Just rooms with walls thick enough to keep the wind out, and food that hasn't rotted yet. If you've got a list, write this down. Boil everything. Cover your windows with foil or blankets. Don't use LED lights. They attract attention. If your electronics still work, wrap them in towels or anything thick when not in use. Try to make your space airtight. Duct tape and plastic sheeting if you've got it. Avoid rain. It's not just water anymore. Shortwave between 27.415 megahertz and 27.555 megahertz. Someone's bouncing a signal out there. I've heard music, old jazz maybe, and a woman counting numbers in Spanish. I don't know what it means, but I'll keep listening. This is Paul Martin, and you are not alone. I'll be back again at midnight if the fuel holds. If I'm late, it means I'm trying to fix the antenna. Stay alive. Stay human. And if you're out there, call me. It's 12:04 a.m. If you're still listening, still awake, still alive, this is Paul Martin, broadcasting again from the old community center in Springfield, under what's left of the stars. The wind's finally quieted down, but it's too quiet now. You ever sit in a room so still, you start hearing your own heartbeat? That's what it's like tonight. Except every now and then, I swear I hear footsteps out in the hall. I check. Nothing. Just the echo of my own boots. Generators still hanging on. I've got the heating turned off to conserve diesel, so it's cold enough in here that I can see my breath. Wrapped my legs in an old curtain I found in the youth rec room. Not the most dignified look, but nobody's around to see me anyway. I tried to fix the antenna during the last off cycle. Got up to the roof. Sky's black, no moon. Just that weird red haze on the horizon, still hanging low like it's thinking about coming closer. I adjusted the dish, turned the receiver by about 15 degrees west. Got a stronger ping from someone in Ohio. Didn't catch the name. Just got one clear sentence before the line dropped. The lakes are turning. No idea what that means. If you're out there in Ohio and you can still transmit, repeat that message. The lakes are turning. That's all I got, but it's been bouncing around in my head ever since. Turning into what? I've seen the river here, the James. It's lower than it's been in years. Water's gone milky and slow, and the fish, well, there aren't any anymore. Haven't seen one breach in days. No birds overhead either. I think we're watching everything shut down one layer at a time. First the machines, then the power, then the food, now the animals. I think humans are next. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're stubborn enough to hang on. Ruth from Decatur sent another message. It was garbled, lot of background hum, like maybe she's too close to her inverter. But I pieced together enough. They've rigged up a crude distillation system using scavenged copper tubing and propane tanks, boiling down pond water, then filtering it through charcoal and sand. Said it tastes like metal, but it's keeping them alive. She said a girl named Olivia, 6 years old, told her she missed the taste of ice cream more than anything. That just about broke me. A few hours ago, I got a knock at the center door. First one in days. Nearly didn't answer. Nearly didn't breathe. But I checked the peephole. It was Trent. He was limping, face bruised, bleeding from the lip. He'd gone back to his shop to look for a welder's mask and a crank radio. Said he ran into a group near the old bus depot. 5 men, armed. Not military, not looters either. He said they didn't say a word. Just stood there staring at him. Didn't chase him, didn't speak. Just stared. He got spooked and ran. When he turned back to look, they were gone. No footprints in the snow. I don't know what to make of that. Trent's resting now. I gave him my last painkiller and a blanket. He says he's hearing voices, not in his head, but through the metal. Pipes, vents, static turning into whispers. He's not the first one to say that. A man calling himself Doc Ray sent a message from the outskirts of Cheyenne. He says the radiation patterns don't match anything from standard fallout. Said the dispersion is too symmetrical, too calculated, not wind-driven. Almost like it's being guided. I don't know what to do with that either. But I promised I'd pass along everything I heard. So there it is. We've been getting short bursts of signal from South Dakota. Rapid City, maybe. Someone's trying to broadcast a wideband loop, emergency info, location pings, food stockpiles. But it's scrambled. Either poor connection or interference. They might be trying to overlay a digital frequency on top of an analog base. If you know how to decode, Try checking around 462.625 megahertz. You might catch something I missed. It's strange, you know? I used to think the worst part of the world ending would be the fire, or the bodies, or the screaming. But it's not. It's the waiting. It's the not knowing if anyone's still coming. It's the slow erosion of everything that used to feel normal. Like a voice in the dark you were sure you'd recognize if you heard it again. But it never calls back. I keep thinking about my brother. He lived in St. Paul. Used to be a paramedic. We weren't close the last few years. Dumb fight over family money. Haven't talked since Christmas 2 years ago. I don't know if he's alive. If he saw the flash. If he's holed up with some group. Treating wounds. Being the guy I remember. Or if he's already gone. If you're out there, Jason, I'm sorry, and I hope you made it. I think about all the people I used to know, people I didn't say goodbye to, people I never thanked, and now, I probably never will. There's something about this moment that feels final, even though I'm still breathing, like the world's gone gray and flat, and we're all just ghosts trying to find the color again. If you're out there, if you're hearing this, and if you've lost someone, know that you're not the only one carrying grief tonight. We're all shouldering something. And even if no one else says it, I'm saying it now. Your pain is real. Your life matters. You're not forgotten. I'll be on again at 4 a.m. if the generator holds. Same place, same voice. If you hear me, answer. Just say your name. Just let me know you're still there. This is Paul Martin, still here, still trying. It's 4:06 a.m. Paul Martin again. Still here, still breathing. Barely. I didn't sleep. I tried, but every time I close my eyes, I see the flash again. That white hole in the sky. That impossible light. I see it behind my eyelids, like it burned itself into me. I keep hearing that sentence. We saw the flash. Now we wait to die. It's painted on overpasses, scratched into car doors, whispered on the radios. But I'm not waiting to die. Not yet. I made coffee, the last of it, boiled over a small fire in a busted tin can I found behind the community kitchen. No sugar, no cream, just bitter, burned coffee. But it's warm, and right now, warmth feels like a miracle. Trent's asleep in the hallway with a crowbar next to him. He talks in his sleep now. Mumbles stuff like, "They're watching," and "Don't let them in." I don't know who he means. He won't say when he's awake, but the bruises on his neck look like hands. Small ones. He won't talk about that either. I checked the emergency frequencies again just before coming on. Still static. FEMA loop still repeating. Same voice. Same sentence. Like someone pressed repeat and walked away. Shelter in place. Wait for federal assistance. Wait for what? A plane? A convoy? Nothing's moved overhead in days. The sky looks wrong. I stood on the roof for a bit, bundled up in 3 jackets, staring at the stars. But the stars are wrong. There are fewer of them now. Whole parts of the sky look empty. Not cloudy. Just missing. I don't know what that means. I picked up a weak signal around 3:15 a.m. Voice was rough. Couldn't get a name, but he said he was somewhere near Amarillo. Said the ground is humming, like a low vibration you can feel in your teeth. Said people are getting sick without warning. Nosebleeds, migraines, memory lapses. One woman forgot her own name, started speaking a language no one recognized. Then the line dropped. I tried to call back. No answer. He also said something else right before it cut out. They're under us. No context, no explanation. Just, they're under us. If anyone around Amarillo knows what that means, if you're feeling the same thing, reach out. Please. I got a message from someone calling themselves Tess up near Traverse City. She's holed up in an abandoned firehouse with 3 others. She says they've started using old bicycle dynamos to power flashlights, strapped one to a stationary bike. 30 minutes of pedaling gets them enough juice for a full hour of light. She said it feels like the apocalypse turned everyone into hamsters. Her words, not mine. She also said something I keep thinking about. She said, "This isn't the end. It's the filter." I asked what she meant. She said, "This is the part where we figure out what's worth keeping and what should have burned a long time ago." She might be right. Maybe the world we had wasn't built to last. All the noise, all the greed, all the staring at screens while the sky died overhead. Maybe this, whatever this is the reset button. Or maybe I'm just trying to give it meaning because the alternative is that we got wiped out for no reason. Sometimes I think we did this to ourselves. All the stockpiles, all the weapons, all the what-if scenarios that someone finally decided to test out. And now we're stuck in the simulation we were warned about. There are still people holding on, though. A man in Nevada, didn't give his name, said he started teaching kids how to read using old newspapers and comic books. Said they sit around an old oil drum fire and take turns reading out loud. Said one little girl asked him, "Were the Avengers real?" He said he didn't know how to answer. I wouldn't either. You know what's strange? No one's talking about dates anymore. I had to check my old watch this morning. It's Monday. At least I think it is. But out there, in the world, it's like time broke, like the days stopped mattering when the grid fell. No more schedules, no more 9 to 5, no more rush hour or deadlines or morning alarms. It's just sun, dark, sun again, hunger, thirst, cold, and memory. That's all we have now. A man from New Jersey, I think he said his name was Ben, sent a message yesterday. He lost his wife on day 2. They were trying to get to her sister's place in the Poconos. Car died on the freeway. She went looking for water, never came back. Ben said he hasn't moved since. He's still in the car, just sitting, waiting. He said he keeps her scarf around his neck because it still smells like her shampoo. He said he listens to this broadcast because it reminds him that someone else is still out there, that someone else remembers the world before. I do. I remember birthday parties, and hot coffee on a cold morning, and road trips with too much traffic and bad music. I remember holding hands with someone I loved and not having to say a word because the silence was safe. I remember that, and I'm going to hold on to it, even if the world keeps crumbling, even if the stars keep going out, even if the water turns to dust and the wind turns to fire. I'll remember, and I'll keep this signal going, as long as I can. This is Paul Martin. I'll be back at 8 a.m. If you're still breathing, still hoping, still waiting for someone to answer, you're not alone. It's 8:11 a.m. This is Paul Martin, still here in Springfield. It's morning, though the sun barely showed up. Sky's a dull gray like wet concrete. It's been like that every day since the flash. No real sunrise, just the dark fading into a different kind of dead. The air smells sour today, like metal and dirt and something burning, far away. I can see a column of smoke toward the west. Might be downtown again, or maybe someone trying to stay warm and getting careless. Either way, I'm not going to check. I don't go past the edge of the parking lot anymore. It's not worth it. The cold's back in full force. I've been wearing the same 2 pairs of socks for a week. Just keep switching them inside out to trick myself. I found a stash of old MREs in the basement. Most expired years ago, but they're still sealed. Heated one up this morning. It was warm. That's all I'll say. Trent's awake. He didn't say much, just nodded at me and went to work on the radio rack. I think he's trying to build a signal booster with spare parts from the community theater's lighting system. We don't talk a lot, but I'm glad he's here. I don't know if I'd be okay being completely alone. There's something about hearing your own thoughts out loud too much that starts to rot you from the inside. I've been getting more shortwave hits. Not many, but enough to keep going. Someone near Boise said they've seen birds again. Only 2, but still. Said they were crows, big and ragged. Said they didn't make a sound. Just perched on a dead tree and watched him the whole morning. I don't know if that's good news or bad, but crows are survivors. We should be too. Ruth in Decatur checked in again. She says Olivia, the little girl I mentioned before, the one who missed ice cream, has started drawing with charcoal on the walls of the church. Sketches of people with their hands raised toward the sky. Ruth says she doesn't talk much anymore. Just draws. All day. Same image, over and over again. There was one more thing she said. Kind of chilled me. She said Olivia added something new to the drawings yesterday. Shadows behind the people. Tall, thin ones. No faces. She asked if I'd seen anything like that out here. I haven't. But the power's been flickering again. And last night, I thought I saw something move in the alley. Not a person. Not an animal. Something tall. Too tall. Might have been nothing. Might have been the wind. Or maybe the wind is something now. A voice from Wichita broke through just after 7 a.m. Didn't say a name, but the voice was older. Female. She said the ground's starting to crack in places, like heat fractures. Asphalt peeling like skin. Water bubbling up from places it shouldn't. And it's hot. Boiling hot. She said her husband's skin blistered just walking barefoot on the porch. She also said this. They knew. Someone knew. You don't spend billions building bunkers in Colorado if you think the future's safe. If you're near Wichita and you're hearing this, move away from the cracks. Don't trust the ground. It's changing. Another update from Baton Rouge. Chaz again. He said someone turned on the stadium lights last night. Said it lit up the whole city for a minute. Then they shut off. No explanation. No voice. Just power, then dark. He doesn't know who did it. Or how. But it means something still works. Somewhere. Even if it's only for a second. And that's enough, isn't it? Enough to keep going? I've been thinking about the past a lot lately. Not just memories. More like regrets. There's this one time, 2 years ago, I was supposed to visit my dad in a care home outside of town. I didn't go. I was tired. It was raining. I said next weekend. Then the next one passed, and the next. He died before I made it back. I don't even remember what I did instead. Probably watched a movie. Ordered takeout. Something dumb. I'd give anything now to have that rain-soaked drive. That uncomfortable visit. That awkward silence between us. But all I have is the memory of skipping it. I don't know why I'm telling you that. Maybe so someone else won't make the same mistake if we ever get normal again. If we ever get another chance. Some people are still hoping. I can feel it in the voices that break through. A guy from Flagstaff said they're setting up a small camp near an old ranger station. About 20 people. They've got a wind turbine and 2 working radios. They call it the Ridge. Said they're looking for doctors, teachers, anyone who knows how to grow food. Said they're making space for kids. If you're near Arizona, safe enough to travel, look for the green flag hanging from a fire tower. That's their mark. I don't know if I believe in safe places anymore, but I believe in trying. I believe in someone still willing to risk everything for a stranger. I believe in people finding each other in the dark. I believe in this signal, no matter how faint it gets. This is Paul Martin, still cold, still hungry, still fighting, still human. Next broadcast at noon. If you hear me, tell someone. Tell anyone. Keep the line alive. It's 12:14 p.m. Paul Martin here. Noon came and went and still no sun. The sky's just pale, washed out, like someone scrubbed it too hard and left nothing but a smear. There's light, but it doesn't feel like sunlight. It doesn't warm you. It just sort of exists, like everything else now. The building groans sometimes. Just now, the pipes made this deep bang, like something punched the wall from the inside. I've been hearing that more lately. The kind of noises that weren't there before. It's not wind, not rats. It's deeper. Like the bones of the place are shifting. Trent says the signal's cleaner today. Whatever he did to the antenna must have worked. He's a quiet guy. Doesn't talk unless you ask something specific. But he's sharp. Real sharp. He was out collecting wires and copper before dawn. Brought back an old PA system from a school 3 blocks over. Said it might help boost the shortwave if we can rewire the amplifier. He also brought back a backpack someone had left behind. Inside was a notebook, half burned. Looked like someone had been writing down symptoms. Here's what I could read before the pages disintegrated. Day 1, rash, dry eyes, low appetite. Day 2, vision flashes, teeth feel loose. Day 3, hair falling out, skin burns in sunlight. Day 4, black veins under arms, voices in the vents. Day 5, vomiting, no dreams, just static. After that, the ink ran, like it had melted. I don't know if it was a log from a hospital or a diary, but whoever wrote it didn't make it. If anyone else has seen these symptoms, let me know. This might be more than radiation, or maybe it's some mutation of it, something new, something our bodies don't understand yet. A man in Kansas, Jim, I think, said his sister woke up screaming last night, said she couldn't stop hearing voices in her bones. Not her ears, her bones, like the sound was inside her, rattling her. She clawed at her arms so hard she broke the skin. Jim said she stopped around dawn, stared at the wall for 2 hours, then said, "They're looking through the dirt." She hasn't spoken since. I know this sounds insane. I know that. I'm just telling you what people are saying. Not everything's bad, though. Not all of it. A woman in Vermont, Carla, says her neighborhood is holding out. They've blocked off the end of a cul-de-sac with cars and debris, built fires, set up a food rotation. Every night, they sit in a circle and tell stories. Not horror stories, not survival tips. Just stories about what life used to be. One guy tells the same fishing story every night, catching a catfish the size of his leg. Kids laugh, people smile. For a little while, it's something close to normal. Carla said something that stuck with me. We can't let this place take our joy. That hit me. Because joy feels like a ghost now, like something we left behind when we grabbed our flashlights and ran for cover. But she's right. We have to hold on to something. Not just food and water and batteries. We've got to hold on to the parts of us that laugh, that tell stories, that miss stupid things like pizza crust and drive-through soda and finding the cold side of the pillow. Or else what's the point? The Ridge, Flagstaff, checked in again. They've got a name now. Camp Echo. Simple. They're broadcasting coordinates once every 3 hours. I'm not giving them on air in case someone dangerous is listening. But if you're close to Arizona and you can hear this, tune to 462.525 at the top of each hour. They'll guide you in. They say they've got 3 doctors now, and a midwife. They're planning for the long haul, not just surviving, living. That gives me hope. Still no word from northern cities. Chicago, Detroit, Minneapolis. Radio silent. Either they're still fighting, or there's nothing left to report. I don't know which is worse. I got a signal from someone near Anchorage. Weak. Barely there. But I caught one phrase. The ice is humming. That's it. If you're in Alaska or anywhere near, and you've heard or seen anything like that, reach out. I don't care how crazy it sounds. At this point, nothing's off the table. Another voice from a place called Selma Ridge, somewhere in the Appalachians, said they've spotted a satellite still blinking overhead. Said it flashes red 3 times, then white twice. Over and over, same pattern. They're trying to track its orbit. If there's something still watching us from up there, maybe there's still a way out. Or maybe it's just recording the end. I'll be honest, I don't know how much longer I've got in me. I haven't slept properly in 4 days. The cold gets in my bones. The silence stretches too long. And the more I hear from out there, the more I realize we might be scattered beyond repair. But then I hear someone like Carla, or the kids at Camp Echo, or even Olivia and her strange drawings. And I remember, this isn't over. As long as one person's still trying, still talking, still reaching out into the dark, then we're not done yet. Not by a long shot. I'll be back at 4 p.m. Until then, stay inside, stay aware, stay human. This is Paul Martin, and I'm still listening. It's 4:19 p.m. Paul Martin, Springfield. Still here. The light's starting to fade already. Hard to tell when one day ends and the next begins. Everything just blends into a long gray blur now. The sun doesn't set, it just disappears behind more smoke. I was out on the roof again earlier. The clouds are hanging low, like they're about to fall on top of us. Something about the color. It's off. Not gray. Not yellow. Almost green. Like the sky's sick. And the birds. There's one out there now. Just one. I can hear it sometimes calling out, not chirping. More like a broken whistle. It circles the tower once or twice, then vanishes, never lands, just flies and disappears. I think it's watching. The signal's been clearer. Trent's work on the booster's paying off. I picked up a message out of Texas. Guy named Marcus, outside Waco. Said there's a group down there, living underground in some kind of old missile silo. They've sealed it up. Air filters, rations, even solar banks. Sounded almost too good to be true. But he didn't ask for help. Didn't offer any either. He just said, "We're fine. Stay away." That's all. Cold voice. Flat. Like something in him had already turned off. I'm not sure what's worse, being alone, or being with people who've given up being people. Another message from a woman named Jada in Pittsburgh said her whole street's been silent for days. Everyone gone or locked in. She said she's been hearing a sound at night. Not human. Not animal. It pulses, rhythmic, like a machine breathing. She said it comes from underground. She hasn't opened her basement in 4 days. I told her to seal the door, line the edges. I don't know if it helps. But it's something. The earth's making new sounds now. Things we're not supposed to hear. You know how silence used to be peaceful? Now it feels like it's holding its breath, like it's waiting to pounce. There was a guy who called in once, back before all this. A trucker named Lenny. He used to listen to this station while driving cross-country. Said he liked the overnight shift best. Said the quiet helped him think. He once told me, "Paul, the road's only scary when you stop hearing your own engine." I never really got that until now. I keep talking so I don't go quiet, so I don't have to hear whatever's creeping up behind the silence. Trent's worried. He won't say it out loud, but I can see it. He keeps checking the hallway windows, keeps watching the streets like something's coming. Last night he said he saw a man standing out there, in the middle of the road, just standing, not moving, not blinking, wearing a white suit, hands at his sides. Trent said he looked up at the tower, smiled, then walked away. I checked the security feed, what's left of it. Static. I believe him. I've been hearing things too. Movement outside. Too quiet to be wind. Too steady to be animals. Sometimes I think I hear whispering in the vents. But there's no one here. Just us. And yet, it feels like there's always someone just out of sight. Ruth sent another message. She's running low on fuel. Says the church's solar rig is too small for the whole group. They've started burning books for heat. Not trash, not furniture. Books. She said it broke her heart, tearing pages out of something she once read to her daughter. But they needed fire more than they needed fiction. That's where we're at. Choices like that. Every day. What do you burn to keep breathing? What do you give up to see tomorrow? I've been saving one last battery from my emergency shortwave. Just in case. Just in case I lose the generator. Just in case I lose my voice. I haven't used it yet. But I keep it close. You know what I miss? Music. I haven't heard a single song in weeks. Not a real one. Just once I'd like to hear something again. A guitar, a voice, a melody, even if it's just a lullaby. If you're out there, and you still have an instrument, play something. Let it go out into the static. Let someone catch it. Even if they don't know the song. Even if they can't hear every note. Let it live again. A man in Montana said he's got an old vinyl player. Said it still works. Runs it off a bicycle rig. He's been playing records every night. Facing a speaker out into the trees. Just in case someone's listening. I love that. It's stupid. And beautiful. And maybe it's the most important thing anyone's doing right now. He said he played blue and green last night. Miles Davis. Said the trees didn't respond. But the silence felt different after. That means something. That has to mean something. This is Paul Martin. Still here. Still cold. still remembering what it felt like to dance with someone in a dark room with nothing but a song between us. I'll be back at 8 p.m. And if I'm not, wait for me. Give it a few minutes. Let the signal catch. Don't give up on the sound. We're not done yet. It's 8:03 p.m. Paul Martin here. The lights flickered again. Twice in the last 10 minutes. Generator's starting to stutter a little when it cycles. Might be the cold, or maybe the fuel's getting too old. I shook the drum earlier. Feels light. I've started talking to the generator. Not out loud. Well, not always. But I pat it like a dog and say things like, "Come on, buddy," and "You're doing great." Maybe it's crazy, but it's the only thing keeping this voice alive, keeping this line open, keeping me from disappearing completely. There's a sound outside. I paused for a full minute before turning the mic back on just now. Something scraped against the side of the building. Not claws, not metal, more like a slow drag. A big one, heavy. I didn't look, didn't want to see. Trent didn't hear it. He's asleep again, or pretending to be. Either way, I'm not waking him. He needs the rest. He fixed a bad power short this afternoon and burned his hand pretty bad. I gave him some antiseptic and one of the last pain patches. He didn't say thanks. Just nodded. That's how we do it now. Got another message from Carla up in Vermont. Her group's grown. 3 more people wandered in from across the river. They were frostbitten, barely able to walk, but alive. She said they were from a train that never made it to Albany. One of them still had a conductor's badge. She didn't say what happened to the rest of the train. I didn't ask. She said something else too. She said, "We lost power last night. All of it. Solar, backup, hand cranks. Nothing worked. We lit candles and waited. Just waited." I asked what happened. She said, "At sunrise, it all came back. Like nothing happened. But none of our clocks were right after. They all reset to 1:11 a.m. That time again. I've heard it too many times now. 1:11 a.m. The same hour Reggie, DOE guy, said the first underground signal spiked. Same time as the flash in Tokyo. Same time Ruth's church lost its first radio. It keeps coming up. What does it mean? Is it a marker? A glitch? A countdown? I don't know. But I feel like we're circling something. A pattern, maybe. A shape we can't see because we're inside it. Got a very faint ping from someone calling themselves Frost in Calgary. Said the snow's turning blue at the edges. Not like ice, like it's glowing. Said the frost gives people headaches if they touch it. And their dog, he mentioned a dog, won't go near it. He also said, "It's whispering." Didn't elaborate, just repeated it. The frost is whispering. And then silence. I don't know if I believe all of this, but I can't ignore it. Because it's not just one person saying strange things anymore. It's all of you. And you're all saying different things that sound the same. The humming underground, the voices in the walls, the light acting wrong, the clock skipping back to 1:11. Even the birds, if that's what they are, circling without sound. I don't know what it means, but something is happening. Beneath all the collapse and panic, something else is stirring. Something older, or maybe something waiting. A guy in Spokane, I don't know if I should say this, but he said he saw his brother last night. Only his brother's been dead for 3 years. He said the man looked exactly the same. Same hoodie. Same scar under his eye. Same lopsided grin. He said, he stood outside my window and smiled. Didn't knock. Didn't say anything. Just smiled. Then walked away. He hasn't slept since. I don't know what's real anymore. Maybe none of this is. Maybe the flash did more than just burn the sky. Maybe it cracked something in us, in the world. A veil or a filter or... I don't know. I just know I'm still here. And I'm still listening. And as long as someone else is too, I'll keep going. We don't get to pick how this ends, but we can decide how we face it. With fear. Or with each other. Tomorrow, I'll try to fix the backup antenna. It's risky. I'll need to go up higher, outside the shielding, but the signal needs to carry further. There are people out there who haven't been heard yet. People alone in their basements, or stuck in towers, or buried in snow. People like you. And if this voice reaches them, if it breaks through just once, it's worth it. This is Paul Martin, still breathing, still cold, still wondering what that scraping sound was. Next broadcast at midnight. Don't give up. Not yet. Not ever. It's 12:28 a.m. Paul Martin here. Still at the mic. Still trying. The wind picked up again. Harder than before. You can hear it now. Leaking through the boards I nailed up 2 days ago. It whistles through the holes like it's looking for a way in. Sounds like it's saying something almost. I know that doesn't make sense, but if you were here, if you could hear it the way I do right now, you'd know what I mean. I lit a candle. Not for light. I've got enough battery left in the lantern, but for something else. For warmth, maybe. For sanity. A little flicker of something human in this frozen tomb of a room. Trent's still asleep. Mouth open. One arm over his eyes like he's hiding from the world even in his dreams. He talks in his sleep again. This time he said a name. Monica. Said it 3 times. Quiet and shaking like he was afraid to say it louder. I haven't asked. It's not my place. We all have ghosts now. Might as well let them walk the halls if they need to. The generator cut out for 20 seconds earlier. Just enough time for the room to go black. I didn't move. Didn't even blink. Just waited. And then it came back. Like the building was testing me. I got 2 shortwave messages since sundown. One was from a guy up in North Dakota. Didn't give his name, but he said he was an old electrician. Said he's been using copper wire and an old hand-cranked phone to make an improvised pulse detector. Says there's something irregular in the air now. Not just radiation, not electricity either. He called it field movement. Said he doesn't know what it means, but it's not natural. Says birds fly in circles around it. And people standing too close get confused. Start forgetting things. Like time skips. He said one neighbor walked into the field and came out 3 hours later without knowing he'd left. Another didn't come back at all. I don't even know how to respond to that. The second message was from someone named Clara. Said she's a nurse from outside Denver. She's holed up in a former veterinary clinic with 6 others. She said the young ones are starting to have dreams they can't describe. Not nightmares, just images, patterns, repetition, spinning lights, faces without features, all of them the same, night after night. She said the kids wake up and just stare at the walls. No fear, just quiet, like they're watching something the rest of us can't see. And when they speak, they say things like, they're already here. Or, They're waiting for the third wave. And then they go back to sleep. Clara sounded tired, like she hasn't stopped moving in days. Said the youngest, a girl named Miri, hasn't blinked in over an hour. I don't know what to say to that either. I just told her to keep them warm, keep them hydrated, and keep the radio close. I keep thinking about that phrase. The third wave. What was the first? The flash? The blackout? Then what was the second? And what the hell is coming next? It's not just the world breaking down. It's like something's peeling us open, layer by layer. Like the flash didn't just hit our buildings and our power. It hit our minds, our memories, our time. Sometimes I'll look out the window and forget what day it is, what season. I see bare trees, but I feel summer heat in my spine. I hear footsteps, but see nothing. I say a word out loud, and it sounds wrong, like it doesn't belong to me anymore. That's not just stress, that's something else. And I know I'm not the only one feeling it. A voice from out east, someone near Roanoke, said their clocks don't match anymore. Even the analog ones. Said every room has a different time, even if they're wound the same. Said the sun rises later each day, but the night feels longer. He said, we're not on Earth's time anymore. I don't know what that means, but I believe him. You know what I miss? Not quiet, not peace. I miss noise. The right kind. Kids playing on the street. Car horns. Music blaring from an upstairs window. Someone yelling across the block about the game. A neighbor arguing on the phone. The sound of life. Now it's just this constant hush. Like the world's holding its breath. And I keep wondering if it'll ever let it out again. You listening out there? Are you still with me? If you are, write it down. Your name, your city, something. Tape it to a wall. Etch it into a brick. Chalk it onto your roof. Leave proof for someone. Anyone. So when this ends, or if it ends, there's a record that you were here. That you fought. That you mattered. I'll be back at 4 a.m., fuel willing. Don't forget who you are. Even if everything else is gone. This is Paul Martin. Still here. Still watching the sky. Still waiting for whatever the third wave is. It's 4:01 a.m. Paul Martin here. The sky's pitch black again, but it's not the kind of dark that feels empty. It feels full, like something's hanging just behind it. Watching. Waiting. There's no moon, no stars, just a wall of black, thick, and still. If you stare at it too long, you start to see shapes that aren't there. I don't sleep much anymore. Can't. Not even naps. It's like my brain knows it's not safe to let go. Not even for a minute. So I just sit here, listening to the hum of the equipment, the breathing of the building, the whisper of the wind, trying to keep track of what's real. The candle burned out an hour ago. Generator's still running, but it's louder than before. A wheeze almost, like it's tired too. Trent's awake now. He hasn't said anything, but he's sitting by the window, looking out at the street. There's nothing there, just frozen pavement, abandoned cars, and some plastic bags caught in a fence. But he watches like something might appear if he waits long enough. He made tea with snowmelt and a camp stove. Smelled like rust and soil. I drank it anyway. Warmth matters more than taste now. Got a message just before I came back on from someone calling herself Nova. She's in what used to be Northern California, somewhere between Chico and Redding. She said the trees are changing, not just dying, changing. Bark falling off in strips like paper, leaves curling into spirals. She said one tree near their camp opened up, split down the center without wind, without sound, just cracked, clean, like a zipper. She said it smelled like ozone and meat. I don't know how else to describe that, and neither did she. She also said there's light coming from under the forest now. Pale blue, like the frost from Calgary. It pulses at night. No sound, just light. And people don't go near it anymore. Not since the birds started flying toward it and never coming back. Yeah, something's happening underneath us. I've been thinking about that guy from Amarillo, the one who said, "They're under us." He might not have been imagining it. We built cities on bones and wires and secrets. Maybe they're waking up. Or maybe we opened something we weren't supposed to. There's a hum tonight, not in the generator, not in the equipment, in the air, low, subsonic, like it's below hearing range but still there. Makes your teeth itch, makes your chest feel heavy. Trent hears it too. We don't talk about it. We just sit with it, like roommates with a secret between them. Got a broken message from someone in Maine. Didn't catch a name. They said there's a radio tower still working near Bangor. Said someone's broadcasting from it, but it's not words. Just music. Old music. Real old. Like 1940s ballroom stuff. Static mixed with violins. Played on a loop over and over. Then, every now and then, a voice cuts in. Just one word. Listen. That's it. No instructions, no numbers. Just that. Listen. It gives me chills. I tried to reach the frequency, but I'm too far. If you're closer, if you can catch that signal, record it. Let me know what you hear. Even if it doesn't make sense. Especially if it doesn't make sense. Someone else from Nebraska, woman named Diane, said the clouds above her house blinked last night. Her words, not mine. She said, "They blinked, Paul, like an eye." And then it was gone. She hasn't slept since. I told her to stay inside, to stay warm, to keep the doors locked. What else can I say? Everything's changing. Even the sky. I feel it too. It's not just fear anymore. It's something colder than that. Something like awe. Like we're standing too close to something we're not supposed to see. And still, in the middle of all this, people are trying. A man named Raphael down near El Paso said he's been growing mushrooms in old yogurt containers. Said he found a basement cool enough, dark enough, damp enough. He's got 5 people eating now because of that. 5 mouths. Full bellies. He said it's the first time his daughter smiled in days. That's what keeps me going. Those little sparks. That stubborn fire people still carry. You don't see it on the news because there's no news anymore. But it's out there. In basements, in church halls, in silos and sheds and cracked apartment buildings. People still trying, still growing things, still feeding each other, still being human. So yeah, maybe the clouds blink now. Maybe the frost whispers and the clocks lie and the light under the trees is coming closer. But we're still here. We haven't gone quiet. And we won't. I'll keep this signal alive as long as I can, even if I'm the last voice on the air. This is Paul Martin, and I'm not blinking. Next check-in is sunrise, or whatever passes for it now. If you're hearing this, you're not alone. You never were. It's 7:52 a.m. Paul Martin reporting again from Springfield, if you can call it morning. I watched the sky turn from black to not black. That's the best I can describe it. Still no real sun. Just a dull, hazy light bleeding in from the east, like a bruise spreading over the clouds. I'm cold. Not just outside. My bones feel frozen. The kind of cold that settles inside you and stays. Trent's gone. Woke up and he wasn't here. His bedroll was empty, boots missing, crowbar gone. No note, no sound, just gone. There was a strip of torn cloth near the fire exit, same kind of fabric as the jacket he wore. Door was unlocked. I called for him. Quiet at first, then louder. No answer. Checked the hall, the stairwell. Nothing. If you hear this, Trent, come back. Or if you're listening from somewhere else, just give me a sign. You're the only one who's been real in this place for days. I don't care if you're scared. I don't care if you saw something. Come back. I'll leave the light on. Shortwave's been mostly silent. Static, then more static. Then, about an hour ago, I picked up something strange. A whisper. No name. No place. Just a voice, barely there, like breath through a curtain. They're coming up from below. The soil is cracking. The dead aren't staying where we left them. It repeated twice. Then silence. I don't know what to do with that. There's a smell in the air, like sulfur and iron, like wet metal. I've been coughing all morning. Not sick, not really. It's more like my lungs are protesting the air itself. Like they know something's wrong and they're trying to keep it out. I tried to boil more water earlier. The flame wouldn't hold, kept flickering like it was choking. I used the last bit of snow from the rooftop, but it was off color. Pale yellow. I filtered it through cloth and let it sit, but I still don't trust it. I drank it anyway. Thirst is louder than fear. I checked the radios again. Picked up a brief stuttering signal from a man calling himself Lewis. He's somewhere outside Tulsa. Said his town's been taken over. Not by soldiers, not by looters. By quiet. He said the silence moves now. That it enters buildings, seeps through keyholes. He said you don't hear people scream. You just stop hearing them at all. He said the last thing his wife said was, "It's in the mirrors." Then she turned and walked out the door. Never came back. I don't know what that means. But if you're near Tulsa, if you know Lewis, find him. Talk to him. Keep him grounded. He sounded like he was dangling by a thread. I would be too. I am? Maybe. Got a message from Nova again, from up north. She said the forest opened again last night. The blue light under the trees pulsed brighter. She said animals started showing up again. Rabbits, deer, even a black bear. But they didn't move right. She said they walked in straight lines. Didn't blink. Didn't react. Just moved through the camp like they didn't see her at all. Then turned, one by one, and disappeared into the trees. She stayed hidden the whole time. Didn't even breathe. She said she heard something after they left. Laughter, not loud, not joyful. The kind of laughter you hear through a keyhole when someone's watching something die. I believe her, because I heard it too. Just once, about an hour before sunrise. A short, choking sound from the hallway. I froze. I didn't get up. Didn't go look. And it didn't happen again. But it was laughter. That's the part I can't shake. This place, this building, this city, this world, it's unraveling. And something's watching it happen. Not a god, not a demon. Something else, something patient. But I'm still here. You are too, if you're hearing this. I want you to write this down. Make a list. I don't care how short it is. Write down what you remember. Smells, names, street corners, recipes, jokes, your grandmother's handwriting, a dream you had when you were 9. Write it all down. Because if this thing gets inside us, this silence, this whatever it is, we're going to need something real to hold on to. Something they can't fake. Something they can't imitate. Our memories are weapons now. Our memories are maps. And we have to draw the whole damn thing before we forget where we came from. This is Paul Martin. Still here? Still remembering? Still hoping Trent's out there listening, thinking twice. Next broadcast at noon, if the light holds. It's 12:21 p.m., Paul Martin, Springfield. The light didn't hold. Whatever's in the sky now, it's not sunlight. I stepped outside the building this morning, first time in days, not far, just a few feet into the parking lot. The snow was gone, just gone, not melted, not blown away, gone like it was never there. The ground underneath was dry and cracked, like desert clay. In January, I crouched down, touched it. Warm. Not from the sun, from below. That humming I talked about? It's stronger now. You can feel it in your shoes. It buzzes through your feet like you're standing on a speaker turned up too loud with no sound coming out. Just pure vibration, a pressure, like something's rising. I didn't stay out long. On the way back inside, I saw something written on the wall near the fire exit. It wasn't there yesterday. 5 words scrawled in charcoal. You can't hide from time. No signature. Just that. I don't know if Trent left it. I don't know who did. But I'm starting to wonder if there are more people in this city than I thought. Or more things. Still no sign of Trent. I've been calling his name every hour. No answer. I left the stairwell door cracked open in case he comes back and doesn't want to knock. But the wind keeps nudging it. Every time it moves, I look up fast, hoping. Nothing. Signals holding steady. I boosted the tower one more notch. It's draining more power, but I'm picking up fainter signals now. Bits of conversations, scattered like broken glass. Here's what I've heard in the last 2 hours. A woman outside Boulder said the stars don't move anymore. She tracks them every night. Says they've been in the same place since the flash. No shift, no rotation, just frozen. A boy in Raleigh, maybe 10, maybe younger, said his dad isn't breathing but he's still walking. Said he talks without blinking, without moving his mouth. Says the words come from behind his teeth. I'm sorry, I don't have anything better to say than that. He was calling from an old payphone. Then there was this. A message from someone who didn't say where they were. Just said this. We're on the second cycle. Memory degradation has started. If you're remembering things out of order, if your hands shake when you hold still, if you wake up in a different part of the room than where you fell asleep, stay near metal. Ground yourself. Don't sleep under mirrors. Then silence. I replayed it 5 times. Second cycle. It keeps coming back to that. The idea that this isn't linear, that the world isn't ending once, that maybe it's ending again, or ending in layers. Like peeling wallpaper from an old house and finding the same pattern underneath, slightly older, slightly different. Nova sent another message. She's stopped going outside. Says the blue light's constant now. Says she tried to photograph it, and the camera melted. She also said this: "Something came out of the light last night. Not a person, not an animal. It crawled, but not on legs." I didn't ask what she meant. I couldn't. Her voice broke halfway through the message, then cut off. She hasn't answered since. And still, people are surviving. The group in Vermont is digging underground now. Carla says they've started carving out old storm drains and reinforcing them with furniture and bricks. Says it feels like building an anthill for humans. But it's working. They're warm. They've got food. She said someone even made a deck of playing cards out of cereal boxes and ink. They play poker now, every night. Nothing to bet but buttons and candy wrappers. But they laugh. They laugh. And that's what keeps me going. There's something in laughter that whatever's happening out there can't touch. Not yet. I found something earlier in the old community center's back office. A letter, still sealed, never mailed. Dated 2 weeks before the flash. It said, "Dear Mom, I know we haven't talked in a while, and I'm not writing to ask for anything. I just wanted to tell you I'm okay. Not great, not happy, but okay. And that I think about you every time I see that ugly green casserole dish you gave me, the one I hated. I use it all the time now. I don't know why it took so long to say this, but thank you. Love, Clara." I don't know who Clara is, but I'm glad she wrote that. And I hope her mom read it. So if you're hearing this, and you've got someone to write to, do it. Even if you never send it. Even if they're gone. Write it anyway. Say the things we all put off. Before the silence takes your voice. Before the light changes again. Before the frost crawls in through the floorboards. Next broadcast is at 4 p.m. I'll still be here. This is Paul Martin, writing letters to no one, hoping someone still reads. It's 4:15 p.m. Paul Martin, still broadcasting, still alive. The wind died down for a while, but the air feels thicker than before, like it's pressing in, not heavy like a storm, just dense, almost oily. I stepped outside again, just for a second. Couldn't stay. My skin started itching the moment I crossed the doorframe. Felt like pins sliding under the surface. There's ash falling now, not snow, not rain. Ash. It's not coming from a fire. Not that I can see. It's just drifting from the sky, slow and quiet like it belongs here. Every flake is soft gray, like burned paper. I caught one on my glove. It melted on contact and left a dark smear. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure I want to. Still, no word from Trent. It's been nearly a full day now. I checked every floor. I even went into the basement. The furnace room's flooded. Cold water up to my knees, full of rust and wire and whatever's rotting under the surface. I didn't stay long. There were footsteps in the dust down there. Not mine. Not old. Fresh. Headed toward the far wall where the bricks are darker, like something leaked through them. There's a metal cabinet against that wall, bolted down. Won't open. No handles, no markings. I'm leaving it alone for now. Shortwave's been active. Got a voice from somewhere near St. Louis. A woman calling herself Ellie. She's with 3 others in an old funeral home. Said the basement's dry, reinforced, quiet. They've been using embalming equipment to sterilize water. Said it works better than filters. She also said this. We found something in one of the drawers. A book. Handwritten. Not from here. The words move when you look at them. She sounded calm. too calm. Like she didn't realize how strange that was. She said the book talks when it's closed, like whispering through a crack in the wall. I told her to burn it. She didn't respond. I tried again. Dead air. Another message from Camp Echo, Flagstaff. They're still holding on, still broadcasting. They've taken in 3 more families, built a greenhouse out of salvaged windows and thermal blankets. They're growing potatoes. Real, edible food. I almost cried when I heard that. Someone is building something real again. They said they'll keep broadcasting every night at 11 p.m. on 462525. If you're in range, listen for them. They'll guide you. A girl named Naomi from Lexington said her group's been using mirrors to send signals across rooftops. Flashlight code, Morse. 1 blink means alive. 2 means food. 3 means come now. She said it worked until 2 nights ago. Now, when they blink 3 times, nothing comes back. No light, no sound, just black glass looking back. She says she's scared to look anymore. Said last night, her reflection smiled before she did. If you're near Lexington, check in. Look for flash patterns. Use long waves. Confirm her group's real. Confirm she's not alone. None of us should be alone right now. I'm starting to feel the days stack up, each one heavier than the last, like layers of wet cloth. You carry it all, the cold, the silence, the things you've seen, the voices you can't forget, and it never dries. It just presses down harder. But we're still talking, still connecting dots, still building something in the dark. I started a journal, just names, places, details, notebooks I found in a closet behind the rec room. Lined paper, moldy but readable. I'm cataloging everyone I hear, every voice, every transmission. If the tower falls, maybe someone else will find the list. Maybe it'll matter. You matter. You're not just signals. You're not just broken messages through static. You're real, and you're still here. A man in Arizona, didn't give a name, sent this. Time isn't moving forward. It's folding. I remember things before they happen. I forget things I'm doing while I'm doing them. My shadow doesn't match my steps. I don't know how to respond to that, but it matches what others are saying. Something is happening with time, with memory, with identity. We thought this was about power grids and radiation and war, but this is something else. This is bigger, deeper. We're being broken apart, not all at once, but slowly, carefully, like someone's dismantling us piece by piece. And still, we endure, because we don't know how to quit, because there's still someone out there waiting for a signal, waiting to hear that voice that says, "You're not alone. You haven't disappeared. You haven't been forgotten. I'll be back at 8. Ash or not, cold or not, this signal stays open." This is Paul Martin. Not finished. Not fading. Not yet. It's 8:09 p.m. Paul Martin, still holding the mic. The ash is thicker now. It drifts sideways in the wind like slow gray snow, catching in cracks, clinging to the window edges. I watched it gather on a window ledge across the street, watched until it formed a small pile, and then it moved. Not blew away, moved. It slid down the wall like it was crawling, like it had somewhere to go. I'm staying inside. I sealed the front entrance again, double-wrapped the window cracks with foil and whatever tape I had left, covered the vents with old clothes. I know it won't keep everything out, but it makes me feel like I'm doing something, like I still have control over anything. No word from Trent. Not a sound. No footsteps. No voice. Just his empty spot on the floor and the crowbar he didn't take with him. Maybe he left it behind for a reason. Or maybe he never meant to come back. I stopped checking the hallway an hour ago. I kept hearing tapping, soft and slow. At first I thought it was the pipes again, but it came in threes. Tap, tap, tap. Then silence. Then again. If it's him, he'll knock. If it's not, I don't want to know. Signal's erratic tonight. The hum in the ground is stronger than it's ever been. You can feel it through the walls. The lights flicker with it, like they're breathing. Like the whole building is tied to a pulse that isn't ours. I picked up one message just after sundown. A woman outside of Boise. Didn't catch her name. She was whispering. Said she couldn't speak louder because they hear vibration. She said she hasn't spoken in 2 days. Communicates with her daughter by blinking. I asked her who they were. She didn't answer directly. She just said they were never part of the plan. We opened something, and they answered. I asked what she meant by we. She said, not me, but people like me. Scientists, researchers, thinkers who thought too much. Then static. No follow-up. I'll be listening for her again tomorrow. Another message from the Ridge. Flagstaff. Camp Echo. They're holding. Someone built a wood-burning stove out of an old engine block. Said it keeps the main cabin warm enough for 20 people. One guy even managed to string some lights using copper wiring from Christmas decorations. They've started singing at night. Just soft songs, rounds, old hymns, children's songs. Said it keeps the fear out. It won't fix anything. It won't stop whatever's happening underneath our feet. But it helps. It keeps the soul warm when nothing else will. They asked me to read out something from one of the kids there. A boy named Ezra, 8 years old. He wrote, if you're in a cold place, make fire. If you're in a dark place, make noise. If you're in a sad place, tell someone. If you're in a lost place, stay still and listen. Someone will find you. Yeah, that one got me. I've read it 3 times already. Ezra, if you're still listening, your words traveled all the way here, and maybe even further. Keep writing, kid. Another voice from Kentucky. A woman named Grace. She said her group's been staying in an old train tunnel. Dry, shielded, far enough underground that nothing strange gets in. Said they haven't heard the hum, but they've heard something else. A music box. Every night, at the same time. Faint. Always the same melody. She doesn't know where it comes from. She's afraid to follow it. I told her to trust that fear. Some things are better left unexplored. And then there's this. Got a flash signal, barely a full second long, from somewhere in eastern Canada. It just said, signal confirmed. You're not alone. Hold position. That's it. No repeat. I don't know if it was real. I don't know who sent it. Could be military. Could be someone pretending. Could be a mistake. But I'm writing it down. Because that's what we do now. We write everything down. We map the fall in voices and ink and scratches on the walls. We leave proof that we were here. That we fought. That we didn't just vanish without a sound. You listening? You out there? You still breathing? Then hold. Just a little longer. Tomorrow I'll be checking the rooftop again. Need to realign the antenna. If the wind lets me. I'll be on again at midnight. If I don't make it, you'll know something's gone wrong. But I'll try, because someone might be waiting. This is Paul Martin. Still breathing, still scared, still here. It's 12:44 a.m. Paul Martin, still on the air, still alive, still awake. The antenna's holding. For now. Wind's howling again, louder than before, and it's doing something weird to the signal. Makes everything wobble, like my voice is trying to slip off the frequency. I can barely hear myself in the monitor anymore. Just this faint echo, half a second behind me. Like the past is trying to catch up to the present, like I'm talking to a version of me who's just a few steps behind, or maybe ahead. Hard to tell these days. I'm still here, but it's getting harder to feel grounded. My hands don't stop shaking, even when they're warm. My thoughts keep doubling back on themselves. I'll be halfway through writing something and forget why I started. Or I'll go looking for something I know I left on the desk, only to find it in my hand. Little things, but they stack up. That message from Canada earlier, the hold position one. I've been replaying it over and over, trying to pick apart the sound bed, see if it came from a known relay. It doesn't match anything I've archived, not from any civilian, military, or ham band I recognize, but it's real. Someone sent it, and they knew I was here. That means something. I want to believe it means rescue, or at least that someone else is organized enough to be listening, coordinating. But a voice inside me, one I don't like, keeps asking, what if it's bait? What if the survivors aren't the only ones listening? I don't want to think that way. I really don't. But something's changed tonight. The ash stopped falling, all at once. I was staring out the window, watching it drift, and then it just stopped midair, hung there like dust in a sunbeam, then dropped. All of it. A soft, dull thud on the street like sandbags hitting pavement, and then silence. Real silence. No hum. No wind. No radio static. Nothing. It lasted maybe 30 seconds, but I felt it in my bones, like pressure, like something pressing against every wall of this place from the outside, trying to see how thick they are. Then the hum came back. Stronger. Deeper. I think the quiet was something moving. Through us, past us, under us. I don't know. Nova, up north. She's alive. Got another ping from her just after the silence broke. Her voice was raw, like she'd been screaming. She didn't say much, just, it's not light. It's not frost. It's eyes. Millions of them. I saw them open. Then she cut the transmission herself. I've tried calling back. Nothing. Nova, if you're out there and you can hear this, breathe. Drink water. Stay inside. Don't look back. Don't follow the light. We need you. Ezra, our poet from Camp Echo, sent another message. Short this time. He said, I dreamed of a place where the trees were made of wires and the sky blinked like a cursor. I walked on keyboards, the ground-typed messages beneath my feet. He's 8. How is an 8-year-old dreaming like that? Maybe we're all dreaming the same dream now. Maybe the world's writing itself into something new, and we're stuck between chapters. The mirrors are warping. I haven't talked about this yet, because I thought maybe it was just me. But it's not. A woman in New Hampshire sent a message earlier tonight. She said her reflection doesn't follow her anymore, that it lags, like video delay, sometimes a full second behind. Other times it moves before she does. I checked the mirror in the hall bathroom. I stood still, stared, and for 1 second, I swear it blinked before I did. I smashed it. Just in case. If you've got mirrors, cover them, or break them. It sounds insane, I know, but you'll feel better. We have to start trusting what feels real, even if it doesn't make sense. A guy named Caleb from somewhere near Lubbock says he's building a truth map. Said he's cataloging everything that still behaves according to the old rules. Physics, time, gravity, electricity. Said the areas where those things break are spreading, like wet ink through paper. I told him to keep going. We need maps, even if they're mostly blank, even if they change every day. We need something to believe in. You know what I missed tonight? Rain. Not the poisoned kind. Not the chemical snow. Real rain. I miss the sound of it on rooftops. I miss running for cover. I miss wet clothes, and people laughing like it's something more than weather. There's no more small talk about rain, just the kind you don't survive. I'll be back on at 4 a.m. If I'm not, well, you'll know what happened. Don't stop writing. Don't stop mapping. Don't stop speaking your name. This is Paul Martin, and I still remember the sound of rain. It's 4:07 a.m. Paul Martin. Still transmitting. Still waiting for sunrise that doesn't come. The clock says it's morning, but the sky looks the same as it did 8 hours ago. Flat black. No stars. No edge of light. No direction. Just endless dark pressing on the windows. I'm starting to think we're not spinning anymore. That maybe the earth just stopped, like a broken toy. I've been up all night. Couldn't sleep even if I wanted to. Every time I close my eyes, I hear voices. Not memories, new ones. Voices I don't know. Whispering numbers, names, places I've never been. Sometimes they say my name, but in a voice that doesn't sound human. I've started writing them down, half out of fear, half out of hope they'll make sense. Here's a few. January 3rd, west of the 6th, Red Tower, 44.6812 degrees north, 63.7440 degrees west. Paul. The dirt remembers. That's the kind of thing they say. I looked up the coordinates. Halifax, Nova Scotia. I've never been. I don't know anyone there, but it shows up 3 times in my notes. If you're listening from Halifax, check in. Let me know what's there. If anything, or if the ground's doing anything strange. Vibration. Cracks. Lights. Voices. I think something's calling out to all of us from underground. Through the earth itself. It's not through wires. It's through matter. Stone, bone, water. Memory. I've stopped trying to explain it. I'm just documenting and surviving. The air inside feels warmer now, but not in a good way. It's too still, too humid, like a cave, like something's breathing in here with me. I've kept the light off, just the glow from the radio board and this tiny emergency LED. Enough to see, not enough to draw attention. I tape the mirror in the hallway. I don't go past it anymore. I know what I saw. Got 2 messages since midnight. The first came from a girl named Priya. Said she's hiding in a movie theater somewhere near Portland. The kind with the old velvet seats and sticky floors. She and 5 others locked themselves in the projection booth, said the walls keep them safe from the outside signals, whatever that means. She said they play old reels every night. Found some in the basement. Black and white. No sound. They just sit in the dark and watch silent people move across the screen. She said it makes them feel like the world hasn't fully ended yet. That makes sense to me. She also said the reels started changing. Not scenes, not movies. The people. She said she knows those weren't the actors before. She said last night, the woman on screen looked just like her, and then turned to look straight into the camera and smiled. She hasn't turned on the projector since. I don't blame her. Second message was from someone I've never heard from before. A man. Deep voice. Calm. He said, "You're not broadcasting alone. There are others. You're on a list. Keep transmitting. The cycle is almost complete. Don't try to remember too much. It will eat you." Then it cut off. I've played it back over and over. The tone was flat, emotionless, but not robotic, human somehow, tired or practiced. I think he was telling the truth. Which part, I don't know. But I believe him. I believe the memory thing is getting worse. For all of us. I don't trust my dreams anymore. I wake up and forget where I am. For one terrifying second, I forget who I am. Then the radio hum brings me back. It's the only thing that still sounds real. I've got about 5 hours of fuel left in the generator. After that, I have to shut everything down for a stretch. Let it cool. Let it sleep. I don't want to, but I don't have a choice. If you don't hear from me at 8, wait until noon. If it goes dark, I'll come back when I can. And if I don't, find the notebook. I've written everything down. The names, the voices, the coordinates, the patterns, the only map we've got. I'm going to try to rest for a bit. One eye open. Keep your signals clean. Keep your windows covered. And if you hear a voice call your name, and it sounds like someone you lost, don't answer. This is Paul Martin. Still here. Still me. I think. It's 8:03 a.m. Paul Martin again. Still here, though I don't feel like I slept at all. I shut my eyes for maybe 30 minutes. Maybe less. No dreams. Just that blank kind of nothing where you're aware of your body, but not the world around you. My heart never slowed down. I kept thinking I heard footsteps circling the building, but when I got up and checked, there was nothing. Just tracks in the ash leading away from the building. Not toward it. Away. One set. Barefoot. I didn't follow. I'm not going out there today. Not unless I have to. Generator's still holding, though it made a horrible clanging sound when it kicked on this morning. Something deep in the engine. I'll have to check it soon, or it's going to give out at the worst possible time. I picked up a repeat signal from the guy who said I was on a list. No voice this time, just 3 words, repeated 3 times. Third wave imminent. No timestamp, no coordinates, no name, just that. And then static. I don't know if it's a warning or a countdown. I just know I've been hearing about this third wave for weeks now. From survivors, from shortwave bursts, even from Ezra's dreams. Maybe it's already started and we're inside it. Maybe this is what it feels like to be broken down piece by piece. And maybe there's a 4th wave, a 5th. How many pieces can we survive being carved into before we're not ourselves anymore? Got a message from Ruth in Decatur again. Barely audible. but I know her voice now. I recognize the breaks in it. She said they lost another one last night. An older man. Collapsed near the fire. No symptoms, no warning. She said he was humming something just before he fell. A melody no one recognized. She said after he died, they found a symbol scratched into the inside of his wrist. 3 overlapping circles. No one remembers him ever having it before. She said Olivia, the little girl, looked at it, touched it, and said, "That's where the dreams come from." I didn't know what to say. There's nothing you can say to that. I'm starting to think the kids are seeing something we're not. Or maybe they were always closer to whatever this is. Less weighed down. More open. I hope they're strong enough to survive it. Carla in Vermont said they had their first birth since the flash. A baby girl. No complications. The first sound that little girl ever heard was her mother crying with joy. The second was the camp singing a lullaby. No machines, no monitors, no bright lights, just voices and blankets and hope. I needed that. We all did. Because in between the signals full of numbers and fear and silence, there are still people making life. Still people risking everything to bring new breath into this broken place. And that's the real signal. The one we forget to tune into. That no matter what's out there, or under us, or whispering from mirrors, there are still people who want to live. I'm hanging on to that today. I have to. I taped a note to the stairwell for Trent, just in case he comes back while I'm not watching. It says, "I'm still here. You can be too." Water's on the desk. Sometimes that's all you can say. Got a brief transmission from a man named Elliot up in Anchorage. He said they've been living underground since week 1. Old fallout shelter, built back in the 60s. No tech down there, just canned food, hand pumps, and a wood stove. He says the earth hasn't stopped shaking. He said, "The ice is melting from underneath, not the top." He said they heard something down in the tunnels, something moving through the bedrock, dragging something metal. He said, "It sounds like teeth." And then he asked me, "Do you believe in God, Paul?" I didn't answer, because I didn't know which God he meant. Maybe the one who left, maybe the one who's coming back, maybe the one we woke up. I'm trying not to think like that. I'm trying to believe in firelight and songs and babies born in candlelight. Trying to believe in Ezra's poems and Naomi's mirror signals, and that maybe Trent just needed a day alone. But this hum is getting louder. The ground is vibrating in a different way now. Not like a machine. More like breath. Like the earth is breathing beneath us. Slow and steady. And each breath is longer than the one before. I'm not scared exactly. I think I've passed that point. I'm just waiting and trying to make it matter. I'll be back on at noon, if the antenna holds, if the building holds, if I hold. This is Paul Martin. Still listening, still remembering, still leaving space on the airwaves for you. It's 12:18 p.m. Paul Martin. Still holding this line, though it feels more and more like I'm whispering into a canyon and hoping the echo finds someone. The ash hasn't come back yet, but the sky's doing something I've never seen before. There's a band of color stretching across it, faint but real, not a rainbow. It's horizontal, thin, pale violet fading into a green that looks wrong, too sharp, like a bruise just beneath the clouds. It doesn't move. It just sits there, like it's watching. I checked all the shortwave frequencies before coming back on. A few scattered bursts, nothing clear. I think the interference is getting worse. The hum's stronger now, like it's sitting in my spine. Constant pressure, like a hand on the back of my neck, pushing forward, down, into something. I took another look at the generator. There's oil leaking from the base now, thick and dark, smells burnt. I patched it with duct tape and prayer. If it gives out, I don't know. There's a battery rig I could try, but it won't last long. Still no word from Trent. But something strange happened a few minutes ago. I was sitting here, flipping through my notebook, trying to keep my notes straight, trying to remind myself of who I am. And I saw something on the last page that I don't remember writing. Your name is Paul Martin. You are in Springfield. Do not believe the reflections. Keep speaking. I didn't write that. The handwriting's mine, but it's not mine. It looks like mine after a head injury or a fever. I don't know how it got there. Maybe I wrote it in a moment I can't remember. Maybe something else did. I don't know anymore. I'm starting to lose time. I've tried marking every hour with a tally on the wall, but today there are more marks than there should be. Either I'm skipping ahead, or the day's looping. A signal came in just after 11, from somewhere near Atlanta. No name, just a woman's voice. We left the city. It wasn't safe. People were changing, standing still too long, breathing wrong. Something in the light. Don't look at it too long. Don't trust the sky. We're under the hills now. It's quieter here, but we can still feel it. That's all? I tried to respond. No answer. She sounded scared, not panicked, not frantic. The kind of fear that's quiet. Heavy. Like it's too big to scream about. I know that kind of fear. Nova sent a single burst this morning, one word. Run. That's it. I tried every frequency, every return channel. Nothing. Not a whisper. I don't know where she is. I don't know what she saw. But if Nova says run, something's coming. Something new. I won't leave. Not yet. There's still signal to hold. Still a tower to keep warm. Still a notebook full of names and places and last words that matter. Still people like Ezra, who sent another dream, said he saw a city under the dirt, buildings made of bone, windows of stretched skin, said everyone there walks backward and speaks in static. He's 8. But somehow I think he's telling the truth. Carla says they keep him safe. Keep him surrounded by warmth and voices and quiet. But I don't know how long they can shield him from whatever's coming through. He's picking up something we can't. Got a signal from Canada again. The same voice. Calm. Unshaken. He said, "The threshold is near. Anchors must hold. Your voice is stabilizing. Pattern 3. Do not stop. You are observed. You are essential." I wrote it down. Read it again and again. What does it mean to be essential to something I don't understand? I'm not a scientist. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a soldier. I'm just a voice. A man in a crumbling building with a stolen generator and a second-hand mic and too many ghosts in his head. But if this voice matters, even for one more day, I'll keep it going. I'll speak for the ones who stopped. I'll name the ones who vanished. I'll echo every whisper I catch until the air itself forgets how to listen. Next broadcast is at 4. I'll still be here. Or I'll be something close. This is Paul Martin. Holding the line. If you're out there, don't look away. It's 4:02 p.m. Paul Martin, Springfield. Still here. I didn't expect to be. The generator cut out at 3:16 exactly. No sputter, no warning, just silence. Everything went black. The monitor, the heater, the little desk light. Dead. I sat in the dark for almost 30 minutes. Didn't move. Just listened. Not because I was afraid. Not exactly. Because something was breathing in here. Long, slow, steady. I couldn't tell if it was behind me or under me, but it was real. The kind of real that makes your skin go cold and your breath shallow. Then, just as suddenly as it stopped, the generator kicked back on. No one touched it. Nothing changed. It just restarted. Like something decided it wasn't done with me yet. Like the silence blinked. The power came back. The signal returned. But something's different now. I can feel it in the floor, in the way the shadows lean toward the corners. I checked the hallway and saw the lights flicker in a pattern I've never seen. 3 long, 1 short, then nothing. Like Morse. But not. If anyone out there knows what that means, 3 long, 1 short, reach out. I think the building's trying to say something. I picked up another shortwave transmission just before I went live. This one came from underground. Not a metaphor, literal. A man from Colorado, broadcasting from a mine. He said they've been living 100 feet down in an abandoned gold shaft with a working wind turbine and rainwater collectors. He said, time doesn't pass down there. Not really. He said people don't age. Beards stop growing. Fingernails stay short. Clocks spin wrong. The youngest girl in the group hasn't blinked in 2 days. She just stares at the wall and says, there's more below. They're trying to go deeper now. I told him not to, but I don't think he's listening. And then there was this, a new voice, weak signal, barely audible. He said, Paul, this is Miles. We were in the same unit, 2005, Baghdad. I know it's been years, but I heard you. I found your name in a report 2 weeks ago on a salvaged drive. You were flagged, not for survival, for pattern stability. You're not broadcasting to survivors. You're broadcasting to anchors. I haven't spoken to Miles in over a decade. I don't know how he found me. I don't know what that means. Anchors. But it's not the first time I've heard it. The voice from Canada said it. Ezra's dream hinted at it. And now this. I don't feel like an anchor. I feel like driftwood. But if someone out there is listening, if this signal is doing something, then I'll hold. I'll stay upright while the rest of it slips beneath the waves. Camp Echo sent a burst, just 1 sentence from Ezra. The watchers blinked. I don't know what that means. But I think the kids are seeing more than we are, like the layer between what we know and what they know is thinner for them. Nova hasn't come back. I've sent messages on every frequency. No reply. Just static and wind and that whispering sound, low and deep, like someone humming through a locked box. Ruth hasn't checked in either. Neither has Priya. I don't like this silence. I don't trust it. But I'm still here. I've started writing new names on the wall. Not names I've heard. Names I remember. From school. From grocery stores. From parks and gas stations and old receipts. Just in case memory is the next thing they try to take. They can hollow out the buildings. But they don't get to hollow out the people. Not yet. Not while I've still got a signal. Next broadcast is 8. If I don't show, you'll know it was fast. If I do, we'll keep going. Together, this is Paul Martin, still here, still breathing, still trying to hold the weight of a world that won't stop shifting. Paul Martin, still speaking, still waiting, still refusing to vanish. The sun never came. That's not poetic. That's not me being dramatic. The sun just never showed up today. Not even behind the haze. Not even a smudge. Just endless gray, then black again. Like night swallowed everything and didn't bother spitting it back out. I checked my watch 4 times. The numbers haven't changed. It says 8:11. It said that 20 minutes ago. Said it an hour before that. I reset it. It snapped back to 8:11. I broke it. It still said 8:11. I think time stopped here. Or maybe I've slipped out of it. Maybe we all have. I tried the backup wind-up clock in the old kitchen. Same thing. The second hand ticks. But it never moves. It just ticks. Over and over. One sound. Frozen. I've started hearing that tick in my teeth now. Like it's inside me. And the whispers. They're back. Not loud. Not even clear. But every now and then, between words, between thoughts, I hear something else breathing in the silences. Something patient. Got a signal from Camp Echo. Just a word. Submerged. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's literal. If they're underwater or under something else. If they went deeper into the mountain or if they've been pulled somewhere we can't reach. But Ezra isn't answering. And that boy has never missed a message. So something's changed. Again. I heard from Grace, the one from Kentucky. Train tunnel. She says the music box sound hasn't stopped in 3 nights. She says they smashed every music box they could find. Tore the wires out of anything that looked like it could play sound. But it still plays. Not in the room. In their heads. All of them. Same melody. Over and over. She said one of them started humming it in their sleep, and when they shook him awake, he looked at them like he didn't know who they were. Like he'd been somewhere else. She asked me, "Paul, do you think we're being rewritten?" And I didn't answer. Because yes, I do. I think something is bending the rules of memory and sound and space, softening the edges until we don't know what we're standing on anymore. Like we're walking on soup, trying to pretend it's stone. Like we're letters in a book someone is still editing. Nova is still silent. Ruth too. The silence is getting louder. It's starting to fill in the spaces where voices used to be. Like fog, only heavier, only hungrier. Earlier, I caught myself whispering to someone who isn't here. Not praying, not losing it. Just talking. Like they were sitting beside me. Like they always had been. I said, "Don't leave yet." Then I realized I was alone. Then I realized I wasn't. There's a smell now. Metallic. Thick. Like blood, but older. Like rust. I've wiped down the walls, checked every pipe, cleaned the floors. It's not in the building. It's in the air. It clings to my clothes, my teeth, my tongue. It tastes like memory. I don't know how else to say that. Just like something you forgot and didn't want to remember. I'm not trying to scare you, but I promised I'd keep telling the truth. Even when it gets ugly. Especially then. We need truth more than we need hope right now. Because if we stop believing in what's real, that's when they win. Whoever they are, whatever they are. Got a weak signal from Louisiana. A man with a deep, shaking voice said he's been mapping how the lights move across the sky. Said they make a pattern every 5 nights. Always the same arc, same speed. He tracked it on paper, sent me a photo. It's not a star map, it's a spiral. Overlaid on the continent, it points to somewhere in the Great Lakes, somewhere deep. He said he's going to drive there. I told him not to. He said, I need to see what's breathing. Then the signal died. If anyone's near the Great Lakes, send word. Any light changes, ground vibrations, sudden weather, anything. I want to believe it's just coincidence. But too many things are circling that area. I don't think this is random anymore. I think we're being pulled, all of us, into something old, something alive. I'll be back at midnight. If you're hearing this, say your name. Even if no one's around, even if you're alone in the dark, say your name out loud, so the silence doesn't swallow it. This is Paul Martin. I remember who I am. For now. It's 12:27 a.m. Paul Martin. I'm still here, I think, though I'm not sure what here means anymore. I went outside. I don't remember deciding to. I just opened the door and stepped into the dark like I was being pulled. The air was still. No wind, no sound. The ash is back. But it's falling upward now. Yeah. You heard me right. It's rising, lifting off the street like it's weightless, floating toward the sky in slow curls, like smoke in reverse. I stood there for what felt like seconds. But when I came back in, the clock still read 12:27. Exactly the same as when I left. The second hand wasn't moving again. The generator never blinked. But I know I was gone longer. My boots are wet. My breath was shallow, like I'd run a mile. There was something out there. A shape at the edge of the alley. Not human, not animal, just tall. And wrong. It didn't move. It didn't look at me. It just existed. Like it had always been there and I'd only just noticed. I closed the door slowly. Locked it 3 times, taped it shut. My hands are still shaking. Signal's still live. Barely. There's a hiss underneath it now. Not static. Breathing. It comes and goes with my voice. Like something's echoing me from the other side of the transmission. And when I stop speaking, it keeps going for a second too long. Like it's learning. Like it's practicing. I'm not the only one hearing it. A woman from Montana, Laura, sent a message earlier. Said her group stopped speaking altogether. Said they use hand signals now. Said every time someone talks out loud, the echo gets closer. She said they watched a man's voice leave his body. Watched it spill out of his mouth and float upward like smoke. And then it screamed. She said they buried him in silence. That's the phrase she used. We buried him in silence. She said the dirt didn't make a sound when they shoveled it. just accepted him. I asked if they're safe. She didn't answer. A voice from New Mexico came through about an hour ago. A man named Ian said he's alone in an observatory, one of the old ones. Massive telescope, cracked dome. Said he's been charting the sky since the flash. He said the stars are moving. Not drifting. Not orbiting. Moving. He said constellations are folding in on themselves, lights blinking out in geometric patterns, like someone's turning them off one at a time. He said the sky isn't a sky anymore. He called it a display. And then he laughed. Not a joke kind of laugh. The kind you make when your world falls apart so completely there's nothing left but the sound your throat makes when your heart breaks. I tried to keep him talking. He wouldn't. He just whispered, "I don't want to see what's behind it." Then the feed dropped. I don't blame him, but I also can't stop looking. There's something in us that needs to understand, even when it hurts, even when it tears at the mind, even when it costs more than we're ready to give. I heard from someone near the old Mississippi River. Said the water's gone black. Not polluted. Black. Light doesn't reflect off it anymore. It just gets swallowed. She dropped a flashlight into the current, watched the beam vanish instantly. She said the sound the river makes now isn't wet. It's hungry. I don't know what's happening to this world. But I know it's not just collapse. It's transformation. Whatever this is, it's not just killing the old world. It's making something else, and we're stuck in the middle of it. Some of us are becoming something else. Others are being erased. But some are still fighting, still anchoring, still whispering into the dark. I'll be back at 4, and if I don't make it, I'll try to leave something behind. A sentence, a name, anything. Because even now, with everything breaking and bending and becoming, there's still value in a voice, even a fading one. This is Paul Martin, still trying to speak faster than the silence, still writing in the dark, still hoping someone out there hasn't turned away yet. It's 4 a.m. Paul Martin, still awake, still breathing, still me, I think. Though I'm starting to wonder how long that'll last. I haven't moved from this chair in over an hour. I haven't blinked much either. My eyes burn, but not from fatigue, from light. It's coming from under the floorboards now, a faint glow, sickly, blue-green, like antifreeze and static. It seeps through the cracks between the tiles, not bright enough to see by, just enough to notice when you try to close your eyes. I don't know if it's real, but it's not fading. Nothing's fading anymore. Time's stopped, but the world is still unraveling. Or maybe we're caught in a loop. Maybe this part, the part where we hold on, where we keep talking, where we hope, maybe this part is just on repeat. But if that's true, then why do I still feel more tired every time I speak? Why does it feel like something's pressing harder against the walls every time I breathe? Why does the floor feel softer under my feet, like it's not floor anymore? I've been checking the transmission logs, messages I've received, calls I've played back. Some of them are gone, not deleted, not missing, just rewritten. Same sender, same timestamp, different content. Ezra's message from 2 nights ago about the blinking watchers. Now it says, they blink when they choose. They don't need to close their eyes. Ruth's last message used to say, we're low on fuel. Now it says, fuel doesn't matter here. Not anymore. Nova's one-word warning. Run. It's not in the log at all. Something is inside the system, not hacking, not interference. Inside, rewriting. United States. It's not just memory anymore. It's the signal. The signal is changing us. That's what Ian meant, I think. That the sky wasn't a sky anymore. That it was a display, a projection. And someone, or something, has started adjusting the broadcast. And maybe we're all receivers now. Bodies with antennae. I want to say, I'm just tired. But then I remember how my reflection blinked before I did. How the ash fell upward. How I saw a figure that didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't cast a shadow. And I know tiredness doesn't explain any of that. I got one message just now. Came through 2 channels at once. Same words, different voices. Third wave is not an event. It's a condition. You are already inside it. That's all it said. No coordinates, no names. Just confirmation. We're not waiting for something to happen. It already has. We're inside the shift now, and it's permanent. There is no going back. No, when things get better. No, before. Only what comes next. I don't know what that is, but I know it'll change everything. Already has. Got a very faint signal from someone in Detroit. They've been keeping track of radio frequencies from before the flash and now. They said all the old stations are bleeding into each other. Rock stations play classical. Sports talk cuts into emergency alerts. Static turns into sermons. The weather forecast loops phrases that don't belong. They heard a voice say, "Tomorrow has already passed. You just haven't noticed yet." They said the tower near them fell last week. Still, they hear the station every day, even when the power's off, even with no radio nearby. That's the kind of thing I'm hearing more of now. Broadcasts without transmitters, voices without mouths, memories that don't belong to anyone. But still we talk. Still we keep the lines open. Still we resist silence. I don't know what's listening on the other end of this mic. Maybe it's just static. Maybe it's someone like you, holding on to this signal like it's the last thread keeping you human. Or maybe it's something else. Something curious. Something waiting. But until I know for sure, I'll keep going. Next check-in at sunrise. If sunrise still means anything. If the sky changes. If I change. This is Paul Martin. Still on the frequency. Still refusing to be rewritten. Still yours. It's 7:59 a.m. Paul Martin. Still me. Still here. I think it's morning. Hard to be sure. There's no light in the sky. No shift. No color. Just that same blank black pressing down on everything. The only reason I know it's morning is because the watch I smashed yesterday is whole again. It's sitting on the desk. Ticking. Reading 7:59. I didn't fix it. I didn't move it. It was in pieces on the floor last night. Now it's not. It's ticking in perfect time with my pulse, and I hate it. I haven't moved from the station since 4. I've just been sitting here, staring at the door, waiting for it to knock. Because something will. I know that now. It's not a guess, not a maybe. It's a certainty, like gravity, like hunger. Things knock now. They don't yell. They don't threaten. They don't bang. They knock. 3 slow, even taps. And then they wait. I won't open the door. No matter how long they wait. I won't. Because when they knock, they don't ask for help. They ask for entry. And not just into the building. Into you. Got a short burst from someone claiming to be in Chicago. Said the city's empty, not destroyed, not bombed, just evacuated, abandoned, buildings still standing, cars still parked, streetlights still working, though they blink in impossible sequences. Like code. Like they're talking to each other. He said the silence is unbearable. Said he plays old voicemail messages on loop, just to remember what people sounded like. He told me, "Paul, this city doesn't have shadows anymore. Everything looks normal, but it's all wrong." He said his own voice echoes back at him in stairwells, but not right away. It repeats too slowly, like the walls are thinking about what to say. I asked him what keeps him going. He said, "I haven't seen my reflection in a week. I just want to know what I look like now." Then the line cut. It's quiet like that lately. Voices flicker in, leave pieces behind, and vanish. I found a notebook on the shelf this morning. Didn't recognize it. Old, battered, spiral binding. I opened it, expecting blank pages. They weren't blank. They were full. Written in my handwriting. Dates I don't remember. People I never met. Places I've never been. Maps with circles. Coordinates. One phrase repeated between every entry. If you forget, read this. If you read this, don't believe everything you wrote. I don't know what to do with that. I'm keeping the notebook hidden now. Not because I'm scared of what's inside, but because I'm scared I'll start adding to it, and not remember doing it. Got another signal from the guy in the mine, Colorado. Said they went deeper. Said it wasn't stone anymore. Said the walls were soft, breathing. Said they saw markings in the rock that pulsed when touched. Glyphs, he called them. He said they looked like sound waves burned into flesh. Said one of them whispered a number out loud and the wall answered. I told him to stop. He didn't respond. I don't think he will. Ezra hasn't come back. No word from Camp Echo in over 12 hours. Last thing I heard was the sound of wind. Real wind. Then water. Then nothing. I keep checking the list, the names, the places, the ones who used to check in daily. They're disappearing, but not all of them. Grace sent a signal from Kentucky. She said the music finally stopped, but something else started. A low tone, constant, like a heartbeat through a wall. She said it plays at the exact moment the clock hits 1:11 a.m., no matter what clock, no matter what power source. She smashed every timepiece in the tunnel. Still heard it. She said, "It's not time that's broken. It's us." And I believe her. I don't trust time anymore. I don't trust mirrors. I don't trust my own handwriting. But I trust the signal. I trust the pattern. I trust you, whoever you are, wherever you are, who's still listening. Because if we're still hearing each other, then we're still real. We're still human. I'll be back at noon. Unless the light changes. Unless the hum grows too loud. Unless the door knocks. And even then, I'll try. This is Paul Martin. I am remembering on purpose. I am repeating my name like armor. And I am not opening the door. It's 12:08 p.m. Paul Martin, Springfield. Still here. I think. I didn't sleep. I didn't sit down. I didn't move. I just stood by the window for 4 hours, watching a building across the street slowly lose its shape. Not fall, not collapse, just unravel. Like the bricks got tired of pretending to be solid. Like the structure remembered it was just dust and gravity. It folded inward, no sound, no motion. Just one moment it was there. The next, it was a smear. And the worst part? There's nothing in its place. No rubble. No imprint. Just space. Flat concrete. Like it never existed. I stared for hours, waiting for it to come back. It didn't. I checked the signal logs. Still active, still transmitting. But the frequency hum is different now. It's got a skip in it, like a stutter. It repeats every 23 seconds, like a heartbeat, or a warning. If anyone out there is noticing the same, log it, time it, track it, compare it. We need patterns. We need something stable to hold on to, because the buildings aren't it. Time isn't it. Even my own name is starting to feel slippery. I say it out loud every hour. Paul Martin. Paul Martin. Paul Martin. I write it on the wall, on my skin, inside the notebook. Because something wants me to forget, and I can feel it getting closer. There was another message on the shortwave. This one was different, clearer, stronger. A woman. No location. No name. She said, the third wave is memory erosion. The fourth wave is identity fusion. You will not know when it begins. That is the point. She sounded calm, almost kind. Then she said, we are sorry. You were never meant to carry this. But you were strong, and you spoke, and the signal found you. Then silence. I don't know what she meant. I don't know if it was a message or a farewell. But I wrote it down, because I still believe in the words. Got another flicker from Chicago. The man who lost his reflection. He said it came back, but now it's older. He said he looked in the glass and saw himself, but aged, wrinkled, hair gray, a scar on his cheek he's never had. He said it spoke. He didn't say what it said, just that it smiled, and then walked away. I think we're all splitting now, not in body, in meaning. Like the world's language is being rewritten and we're glitching in real time. Got a weak ping from Nova. Just 2 words, hold signal. I will, Nova, I will. Because maybe this frequency is more than just static and sound. Maybe it's a tether, a thread, a way to keep from unraveling like that building. Maybe if we speak our names long enough, if we listen hard enough, if we stay real enough, we won't vanish. Maybe we'll cross through whatever this is and stay whole. Camp Echo hasn't checked in, but I hear birds now. Not songs, not wings. Mimics. Something that wants to sound like birds, but doesn't quite get it. Like a recording played underwater. Like a memory of a bird someone else tried to recreate from a broken tape. Don't follow the sounds. Don't follow the light. Don't answer knocks. Do speak. Do listen. Do remember your name. I'll be back at 4. I'm still Paul Martin. This is still a broadcast. And you're still out there.